Greetings, Light Drive. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon for Harmony Energy Healing. Today, I wanted to talk about sides, perceptions, and illusion. And rumors and things like that. So, and it's about how we react to something because of what we perceive it to be, which might not be true. But we don't know that. And so I was going to use just this little story because I remember it was a friend of the family who worked for my dad's company, and he used to hang out with my brother. This was in Southern California, and I lived in Northern California, so I wasn't around for part of the time. But then I was down in that area, and I was working for the family business. So anyway, this friend of the family told me a story once about how he got my brother to do something as far as, shall we say, psychedelics or whatever you want to call it. And at the time I was really annoyed. I'm thinking to myself, well, he was a bad influence on my brother. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess my perception about it now would be different than it was then. And at the time, it upset me, right? And so I believe that to be this thing. And I guess I maybe probably even forgotten about it. But then years later, I talked to my brother's ex-girlfriend. And what did she tell me? But a story that changes the entire perspective that I didn't know. And maybe the person who told me his version of the story also didn't know. Because what she said was that he, the guy, said, hey, let's do this, take this stuff. And they're like, okay. And they let him do it, but they didn't do it. She said they didn't take it. But he didn't know, they were pretending. So all this time, I guess I could be annoyed with, him for like someone younger for like encouraging somebody to do something, but everything's choice, right? And we learn from it all. But I remember at the time being annoyed. That was my reaction to what I thought it was. But the information was not complete. It wasn't even accurate. And the person who told me that probably obviously didn't even know it. And then years later, I find out another side of the story, that it wasn't what he thought it was or what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, that's good to know. You know what I mean? So there's things that we don't know. And so we often react to something with the limited knowledge that we have and whatever our perspective of that is. However we judge it or react to it, or however it makes us feel, or if we deem it to be right or wrong, which again, we don't totally know what that even is. And then rumors, like somebody might be talking shit about you or whatever, or they might say something, or like sometimes someone will perceive something, they take it a certain way and they blow it out of proportion, and it's coming from their woundedness or whatever unresolved issues that would make them do something like that, to where they take something, they believe it to be something it's not, they blow it out of proportion, they react to it, then they talk to other people, then those other people take their side and attack you. It's a hot shit mess. It's a big shit show, of people reacting. And then some of those people will go and just this gossip mill, and they spread these rumors that aren't even true. They might, something might apply to a degree, to some small degree or something, but it's not what they make it out to be. They make it out to be this big thing, and then they put this false information out there, and sometimes that even sticks with people, and then they believe something, they think something, they have something in their field of awareness that they, believe to be true, that may or may not know if it's true, but it's this thing that they associate with the person that might not even be true. That's why rumors are so heinous. We should be very careful when we hear people talking shit, to be aware that we don't have all the information, and we should be very aware when we're passing stories along as well, that we might not have all the information, and more importantly, that information that we're discussing might not be true, might not be complete, might not be fair. So this is just something that's very important to try to remain aware of as we're learning through these different situations with our interactions with people, and how we understand it to the degree that we do, depending on how much information is actually there that we're reacting to and how much of it is true or even complete, because we don't know that. So just a little reminder.